I thought you were setting me up for a punchline, man.
I was
Like,
you're supposed
like
to say mad or daddy.
have you ever had an updog?
What's up? What's the matter? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Matt with the Mic podcast. We're back for another episode. Got two guests on the show this day, one familiar, one we haven't had on so far. Sorry for the extended wait. Wanted to get you guys the best possible episode we could, and here we have it. So, you guys all know my dad. He was on episode 3.
Hello, hello.
And the new guest, Houston Superfan. Oh my God!
Thank you. Now, hopefully, the show will live up to the hype. Definitely,
Thanks, man.
definitely haven't been on a podcast before, so excited to be on. Thank you for having me.
I got you, man.
Excited to be on talking sports.
Yeah, wanted to have you on the show, and we could get started right away. How you doing, man?
He's pretty big in sports.
I know, man.
Yeah, no, I mean big
College.
college football in general, and mainly local sports too.
Yeah.
Representing Houston.
Speaking of local, you grew up in Houston.
Yeah, born and raised in Houston, so love all the Houston teams.
Yeah. You grew up liking all those Houston teams even now until.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, I've been in Jersey for 14 years now, so
He follows the Clifton Mustangs, the New Jersey Jackals,
Who's
the baseball team.
Oh, the baseball. Oh, the AAA or something.
I don't even know.
That's like high school.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No,
I think it's like a minor league. New Jersey Jackals.
No, but isn't there a Somerset? Isn't there a AAA team in Somerset?
I think so.
Like the Yankees. It's like a Yankee.
I think. Yeah. I think
If
so.
I'm not mistaken, but
It could just be a program. I don't know.
yeah. No. I mean, I love the Jets. If I'm gonna root for a team in
New York,
it's the Jets.
But
I
like
love the Knicks as well too.
Yeah.
I love what the team was able to do this past year. It's a team you can root for. And then obviously baseball. Can't stand the Yankees.
As a
I don't mind the Mets. I do like what the Mets were, potentially could do with the new ownership, but
Yeah, with Cohen.
it hasn't materialized. But
Yeah.
it's cool. Yeah, but I love the. Yeah,
Homeboy's got deep pockets.
he does.
Mhm.
But, I mean,
Well,
I don't think he's been able, or I don't think he has spent the money. Isn't that his biggest like?
Well, they've spent the money.
Yeah.
They haven't seen any results
Production from that money.
Yeah, like
So he is spending, but I thought I heard that he isn't spending money at all.
This particular offseason, he decided not to, primarily because the Mets weren't really going to contend this year. And I mean, they haven't been terrible so far. I think they're sitting at the 8 seed, 2 games back of the 6 seed, last
44 and
wild
45
card.
right now.
Where are they at in the
Yeah.
division?
In the division, I think 3rd, behind
Okay.
behind Atlanta and Philly.
Okay. Oh man. And both teams.
Yeah, it's a pretty uphill climb.
They had some pretty bad luck though.
Who's the Mets? What, with injuries?
Spent all that money on DeGrom.
Well, dude, the
Well, that was a while ago. We're talking about this
I'm
year.
just saying.
Dude, I
We're
remember.
talking about their potential runs.
Yeah.
No. Like, he's talking about specifically this past offseason.
Yeah.
With,
No, but you're right. I mean, I remember with DeGrom and who else did they have? Scherzer.
Scherzer.
Who else did they have?
They had
They had another good
a while ago,
pitcher.
Steven Matz, I think.
Yeah.
Diaz got hurt last year.
Yeah.
At the parade.
Yeah.
or whatever.
He was celebrating at the end of the world. It was the Olympics, baseball Olympics.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
it's called the World Championship, right? Wasn't
the WBC, World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
And
that was kind of
tore his ACL.
really good.
Yeah.
That is that. Bro.
he threw strikeout pitch, and then he started jumping up and down, and he landed on his knee.
Oh man, that's.
Yeah. So, growing up as like a Houston fan, still who's the Astros fan now.
Yeah.
You've witnessed a couple World Series. So, like, what's your experience of like? I've never witnessed my team win a championship. Yeah. One day.
Well, let me tell you.
My last time the Mets won was 1987.
Yeah.
No, or later, I think.
87.
I think earlier than that.
Was it?
Yeah.
87 World Series.
Well, I mean, you saw a Niners championship.
Well, I mean, like the Mets own New York.
Yeah.
Like in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
Or early 90s, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they had like
With Piazza.
Piazza. They had who else did they have? Guy with the mustache. What was his name?
I forgot.
Dude, I forgot his name. He's like a broadcaster now for them.
Oh, Keith Hernandez.
Yeah, Keith Hernandez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keith Hernandez. And, I mean I remember they were. I remember they were good. But for me in Houston, growing up, we never like won.
Contended.
I mean, like the Astros,
not really up until recently.
Yeah, the Astros the Astros sucked. I mean, in the early 2000s, when we got Roger Clemens, we got Andy Pettit. We had like Shane Reynolds, I think his name was. These pitchers. I mean, but Bagwell, Biggio, those guys. I mean, they were good. But the only time we got to the World Series was in 2004, and we got swept by Chicago.
Yeah, it was a mediocre squad.
Yeah, mediocre squad. And I felt like the National League, was never as if it, basically it started and stopped at the Atlanta Braves. If you guys remember the Atlanta Braves in the early 2000s,
they were good.
Late 90s, they were a dynasty.
Yeah, they were good.
It was this Chipper Jones. You guys remember that guy? Chipper Jones, and dude, it felt like he was. Yeah, he was good.
I've seen like players now talk about those guys, and when you see like all stars and all top of the league players talking about players from that time, it was somebody special.
Yeah, no, I remember, dude. One of my memories with baseball was it was the Braves and the Yankees. The pitching staff in the Braves got Maddox, got Smoltz, got these guys. You remember these?
Big names.
Big names. I mean, they were it was just crazy. I remember Maddox had blood coming out of his ankles. And
I think I remember seeing that.
You remember that? I mean, he probably had a cut or something, but they made it seem like he was
amputated.
Well, guys back in the early 2000s and the 90s and the 80s dealt with a lot more. You see sports in general, these players really kind of get hampered, in my opinion. Especially with the NFL, the way we've seen the league kind of turn around recently to become less of a contact-related team, and they're trying to protect the players more, which I don't blame them for.
If the players aren't playing, no one's gonna watch.
Exactly. I don't blame them for trying to protect the players. But I feel like they have kind of hampered the entertainment part of it. It takes away from guys like Ray Lewis, Patrick Willis.
Yeah.
Those guys, you don't really see Ray Lewis's and Patrick Lewis's and Patrick Willis's really anymore because of all the penalties they've inducted. To.
They're also saying a lot of these injuries that you're starting to see with receivers, running backs. I think even defensive linemen too, or the defensive side. Is because they're aiming towards the leg.
Oh yeah, that too.
Towards upper body because they don't want to injure the person.
Concussion,
or they don't want to.
So they tell them to stay away from the upper body to protect the upper body, and then when they go to the lower body, they say stay away from that too. So I don't really know, how exactly state in the middle of the body. Everybody, they're all humans. They can't make the perfect tackle every single time. So I feel like the NFL really kind of hampered.
Yeah, I mean,
soon it'll be scripted like the WWE.
Yeah,
I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll see if there's going to be
rule changes.
I mean,
the rule changes this year. I think I saw
with the kickoff.
No more kickoff. Yeah.
No, there is a kickoff.
I know, but
they've created it to be more of there's more chances for returns, basically.
Yeah.
It's the same kickoff I believe they have in the XFL. That's what they use.
Right.
They
were very successful.
They kick and they're not allowed to move at all until the ball is caught.
Yeah, and it's a different lineup in general. But I think it's really going to change the way teams kind of game plan now because every kickoff teams are going to have an opportunity to be able to go down and score. So
honestly, score more touchdowns.
Especially end of the game scenarios where your team there's a couple seconds left, your team is up 1 or 2 points. Usually do the little squib kick. I don't know if that's going to be an option anymore with this new.
It's going to have the squib.
Yeah.
Or onside.
Yeah. I saw them the last couple years. They've been materializing the idea of to be able to add another option to the onside kick. I saw instead of an onside, you could choose to do a 4th and 15.
Yeah,
that's what I saw.
Yes,
I would like that actually.
I would like that. Yeah. It's more entertaining. Yeah. I mean, I like the NFL is becoming more entertaining with all these different teams like the Texans.
Yeah. Texans are gonna be
Yeah.
was next.
You've always grown up a Texans fan?
We'll see. Hopefully, huh?
You've always grown up a Texans fan?
Well, for me,
You guys are loving D'Amico Ryan.
oh, dude, yeah. No, I mean it. And honestly, like,
He was amazing.
no, I mean it. And honestly, like,
He was amazing.
and honestly, like,
He was amazing.
huh?
He was amazing.
He is. He has been. I mean, and like, I knew he was gonna be good because like, if you guys remember, D'Amico Ryan was gonna be also interviewing for like the Colorado job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Denver Broncos. Sorry.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos job and another job. He was like, no, I'm not interested. I really want to focus on like Houston because he's playing in Houston.
Yeah.
It was good. So.
No, I really like the fit in Houston with the defensive side specifically. I saw that defense take a huge turn.
Yeah.
I was shocked on we ended up picking up when we were talking.
Danielle Hunter.
My brother and stuff. Yeah.
And then a guy I really like on that defense, Derek Stingley.
Yeah, Derek.
He's unbelievable.
Dude, I remember 2 years ago when it was Derek Stingley and who was the guy that
J.C. Horn?
no, the guy
Or is that a different guy?
picked up in New York, the Jets.
The Jets?
Gardner?
Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, Sauce Gardner.
I remember everyone was like, the Texans screwed up. They should have picked up Sauce Gardner.
I think those two guys, obviously, Gardner has been like New York. He's put up more of a. Gardner's very. Yeah,
he is very good.
He's one of the best corners in this league.
Derek Stingley.
No, Derek
He's
Stingley.
also a dirty player too.
Sauce Gardner?
Yeah.
Oh, Sauce Gardner?
Yes, he is. Yeah, when he was on the Saints.
No, he
I'm
got
not
drafted
Saints,
by the Jets.
No,
He's been
I
on the
think
Jets his
somebody
entire
else.
time. You're thinking about Gardner Johnson.
Gardner Johnson.
Yeah, he's on the Eagles now.
I knew he was there. He was on the
Okay.
Saints.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
dirty.
Yeah, no, he was
Yeah.
dirty. But I really like what the Texans are doing.
No, I do too. I just hope it still like materializes. Like I have a feeling like.
Yeah, well, I
it's
mean,
just that because
they're
obviously like you get a new quarterback. He's a rookie. He has a
Stroud.
historic season, and then like you just wonder like
Oh, was it a fluke?
was it a fluke?
Yeah, but like,
does he like
Same thing with
digress?
Purdy too.
yeah, well, I mean, we thought that about Purdy, and he still ended up having an MVP season.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But like the way the Texans, like they're trending upwards only.
Yeah.
Like they have so many young guys on that offense and on that defense. Like you have Stroud, under 25 years old.
Yeah.
Nico Collins, I believe, is a top 20 receiver.
I agree.
And then we only really got a small dose of Tank Dell before he broke his leg, I believe it was.
Yeah.
But he looked amazing
He
in
did.
the first 10 games, I believe he played.
Yeah.
So I think for him to come back and then you add a veteran to that receiver group like Stephon Diggs, I feel like that's just going to be unbelievable.
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, me too.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
There was some crazy moves in that.
There was. I feel like the NFL offseason.
Kind of, yeah. You kind of saw like a little bit of a, kind of like a shift in
Yeah.
the league, yeah.
Divisionally.
Yeah, yeah.
Not even.
You saw a lot of like the worst teams get really, really bad, and then these top heavy teams only got better. Like
Yeah.
you saw the Titans, who have had the last couple rough years. They lost Derrick Henry to the Ravens, who are only going to get better.
Yeah.
And then the Giants, who've had a really last couple rough years, they lose Saquon Barkley, who went to the Eagles.
To the Eagles, that's crazy.
I think that fit is going to be amazing. And I saw something.
Dude, that team, the Eagles, are gonna be.
Yeah,
You think so?
they're going to be good. Yeah.
I mean, they were already good.
They were good.
With Saquon, like you saw, like the Saquon we saw in New York was a top 10 running back, obviously, but that was a terrible offensive line. That was a very bad offensive
Daniel
line.
Jones as a quarterback, a really awful offensive line. I mean,
Literally no one around
was
him.
like part of the protection team.
Exactly.
It's just like it was so bad. I mean,
I saw something that the belief is that Saquon Barkley to the Eagles is going to have like a Christian McCaffrey to the Niners type of impact.
Oh wow. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, dude. Me too.
Yeah. Christian
You
McCaffrey
figure
really
with-
changed.
with Hurts being such a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
And
The amount of
defenses not knowing how to attack.
the amount of options they're gonna have.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I feel like the Eagles kind of like built themselves this offseason like the Niners did.
A lot of
So many different options.
Yeah.
You have Goddard, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Hurts can run it at quarterback, and then now you have Saquon Barkley. That's 5 different guys who can push the ball down
Dude,
the field.
offensively, they are going to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Like
NFL.
you said though,
I believe
they were
really-
pretty tough this year.
I mean, they were in the
past year.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
mistaken?
Yeah.
They were a quarter away from winning it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really decent teams I think coming out of this year, but the 2 top teams are definitely going to be the Niners and the Eagles, in my opinion.
Yeah. And the Cowboys.
No, they're bad, dude. I saw.
So let me ask you this,
Yeah.
right? So you're Houston, but like, how is the
Reception to Dallas.
how is the climate when it comes to fans in Texas? Is it kind of like being a New Jersey tri-state area, New York tri-state area, like Mets, Yankees, where in Houston it was like
That type of rivalry.
Yeah, like you're either one of the two. You're either a Dallas fan or you're a Texans fan.
Well,
and they both hate each other. Is it that way?
Yeah. So you go back to the question you asked me about. Was I always a Texan growing up?
Yeah.
Texans? So the Texans are a pretty new team. They were, I think they
2000.
2000 or 2000.
Yeah. So before that, you were Cowboys.
So there was Houston Oilers who were now the Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
And so and I want to say around 95. I want to say 95 or 96. Honestly, I want to say maybe 94.
Within the last 25 years.
Yeah, the Oilers moved to Tennessee, and so in that time frame, growing up, the Dallas Cowboys were.
Yeah. No, 100%.
You guys hated the 49ers.
Yeah, we hated the 49ers. But I love the 49ers too, as far as like the rivalry.
Yeah.
Nothing was like more classic.
Premier entertainment football all the time.
Yeah.
Every time they played.
If we can get the Cowboys and the 49ers in the NFC Championship every year, like that's something that would like, resonate with me because I grew up with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you remember, I mean, even in the 80s too, with like Joe Montana and all that stuff. So
Montana.
I mean,
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say that. Dude.
I know, it's just sports and habit.
Yeah. No, but did you hear about that Matter dog?
What matter, man?
Matter Daddy?
What's the matter, dog?
I don't get it. I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
No, but it's
Warning. The following video is extremely disturbing. You've been warned.
I thought you were setting me up for a punchline, man.
I was
like
you're supposed to say
Matter Daddy. Have you ever had an dog?
What's up? What's the matter?
You ever had an dog? What's up, man?
Nothing much. What's up?
Have you ever had
These are some of the worst jokes I've ever.
These dad jokes.
These are dad jokes for sure.
Oh my god. No, but really, you're serious? I thought you were setting me up for a punchline.
I was.
You
That was the goal.
What's the matter, Daddy?
You're supposed to say, "What's the matter, Daddy?" You know, say, oh no, nothing.
Yeah. I can't, bro. I can't. Y'all are.
You're laughing, so it's not that corny of a dad joke. Oh, my God.
Good Lord. This podcast took a quick turn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, but the Cowboys were great, and so.
So you were a Cowboys fan initially?
So at that time too. So the Oilers, if you guys remember, probably obviously it's before your time, but if you remember the Oilers were really good with Warren Moon.
They were really good.
Oilers were Ernest Givings, Warren Moon, all these great players. Haywood Jeffries. We played the Buffalo Bills in a playoff game.
Cowboys?
No, the Oilers.
Oh, the Oilers.
Before the Bills went to play the Cowboys.
Yes.
That year. And we were winning, I think, 34 or 36 or something like that, 2-3.
Oh, they came back. I've seen
back.
clips of that.
Yeah, and they came back.
I know exactly what you're
And
talking
I felt
about.
like that moment is when, like, Houston gave up on the Oilers.
Oh,
and
man.
even ownership gave up. on Houston.
Relocation.
Yeah, and they're like, there was like
We
battles
need
as far as like new stadium, who was going to fund it, was it going to be the city, was it going to be the owner, and so the owner left. I mean, I think it was a foregone conclusion that he was going to leave. But yeah, I mean, like if they would show videos on like how the stadium has like dents in it, and like it was like it was such a weird time, and that's why he started loving the Cowboys, started to become a fan. But when the Texans came along,
Obviously, you're from Houston.
yeah, from Houston, so like, oh, you want to root for the Texans, but the first couple of years
We're rough.
they were rough. So like, you're still rooting for the Cowboys, and then like obviously there are a lot of people that started to root for the Cowboys because we didn't have a team.
Exactly.
So so then like I remember talking to Anan, my brother, and talking about the Cowboys. Oh, I wish they were this or that, or talking talking smack about them or talking something. He was like, dude, like when are you gonna stop like talking about the Cowboys? Like the Texans, I think at that time started to actually get good.
You're trending, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have Matt Schaub. If you remember Matt Schaub, Arian
Yes.
Foster, like they were like doing really well. Andre Johnson, and I was like, oh well, I mean, like, you know, I think their record probably was like 8-2, and I was like, oh, they're gonna lose the rest of their games.
But they ended up keep going.
Yeah, they ended up going to the playoffs. But it's tough to kind of transition. But now, I'm really like, I mean, even when the Texans were dealing with the Deshaun Watson stuff.
Yeah.
And like, you know,
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. This guy really just doesn't know how to get his stuff straight.
who?
Deshaun Watson.
Well, I
is,
mean-
is there any news up? Any update?
No, he's playing for the Browns.
Yeah, but he had a like
Oh, he definitely had a rough.
yeah, no, not just that. Like, wasn't he like he didn't play for a while? He wasn't even that injured. And,
No, I don't think so.
no,
He was just not playing because I think he was suspended
Oh no, yeah, he was suspended.
for 6 games.
yeah, I know this is
Yeah, suspended. But then when he came back,
He injured.
he
got
was injured for the rest of the season.
Yeah, you know, he tore his shoulder.
Yeah,
I believe he dislocated his shoulder.
I don't remember them saying like, oh, he could come back, but he didn't want to or something.
Now you're thinking about somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, but even then, like I started to, you know, there's, you know, it's back and forth. I mean, like obviously when you live in like New York, the New York area, and you got Giant fans.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, it
there's
gets heated.
Yeah, there's that rivalry
Yeah.
with Cowboys and Giants, and it's kind of, you know, you want to beat like the Giants, you want to beat the Eagles and the Redskins, not the Redskins, excuse me,
Commanders now.
Commanders. But you want them to be good too.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah.
Like it's not
Exactly.
fun when you know it's a.
I feel like
I mean,
the
you remember
NFC
last
East
year,
has been
man?
one of the worst
Dude,
divisions
you
in
remember
the
last
last
year with
20
the Cowboys,
years.
the first game of the year against the Giants?
40-0.
Dude,
That was bad.
crazy. I thought the Cowboys were going to go to the Super Bowl. Like it was
Yeah.
that bad. Then you realize.
Oh
it's
wait,
just
Suck. Yeah.
What's going on with Dak Prescott? Like, I'm not.
I saw. Well, CeeDee Lamb is currently waiting on a contract. Dak Prescott's waiting on a contract. That Micah Parsons is gonna need a contract really soon. So I feel like the Dallas Cowboys got dealt with one of the worst dealt cards, in my opinion. They're gonna really struggle to get all these different guys paid.
I mean, dude. At the end of the day, like we talked about like the Mets and the ownership there.
Well, it's kind of
The
different for
Cowboys too, man.
baseball.
Jerry Jones.
Dude, what's he
Yeah.
doing? He
Is
wants to win
there-
a Super Bowl. Like, dude, make it happen.
It's different for baseball though because I don't believe there is a cap space for baseball. Like however much your owner can pay, he's gonna pay. Like it. What's his name? Steve Cohen
Yeah.
for the Mets.
Yeah.
I believe he's a multi-billionaire.
Yeah.
So all that, and he's a die-hard Mets fan. So he wants to give everything he can to be able to get these guys paid. But with like the NFL and the NBA, there's a cap space. So they're limited to the amount of money they can pay these guys. So really the amount of money that their owners have doesn't really pertain to how well they can pay the players, more as to how well they can make an experience for the fans.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, in NBA, and if I'm tracking correctly, don't they have this weird?
There's this new thing, the hard cap, first apron, second apron.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't understand that at
I
all.
don't know. Yeah, so I guess like they at the end of the day they don't want any teams to have more than
Yeah,
two superstars. Right?
Yeah, I've heard about it more because the Knicks have had to, finagle their way around it.
Yeah.
But I don't really know much about it. Obviously, the Rockets don't have to worry about that. They got a bunch of young players. They're not really paying much.
Well, I mean, like I think that the Rockets.
That's your team?
Yeah.
They look really good in my opinion. Like they were 500 this year. Sengun looks good. I really
the
like.
problem is, go ahead.
I really like Jalen Green.
Yeah, but he's just not. He's not going to become a superstar.
I don't know. He had a really good run of games last year.
Yeah.
Like towards the end of the season when the Rockets tried to make a run for that 10th seed and they just came up short.
Yeah.
But I really like the future of the Rockets. I mean, they got Sengun, who I really like. Jalen Green, obviously. They got Amen Thompson, who I really like.
Amen Thompson looks like he's going to be good.
They have
I think he's going to be better than
Green.
Jalen Green.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
They have.
Like the other year with Kim Olajuwon when he was in the Rockets.
No, but no, actually, I want to say like in high school, like when he would come to Dulles High School, which is in Sugar Land, Texas. He would come to.
He would come?
He would come and run on the track.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, actually?
Yeah,
And you would like see him?
He would go. My sister actually got his autograph.
Oh, wow.
Because he was there during like when she was doing gym and she was running, and then his brother, and I mean like when I went to when I visit my family, I just went to the Mention one day and he was there.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah, he was there.
Are you serious?
Well, I swear. He was
That's
there.
great.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I think he built like one of the nicest like mosques.
Yeah, it's called the Houston Dallas Center. It's right in the middle of downtown. It's
No.
like
He
this
built it?
big- it's-
Like he paid for it?
Yeah, he basically it's there's an old bank
Oh.
and he just converted.
And he
it.
funded to convert
Yeah,
it into
yeah. He was going to build the largest. I think he was going to build. I'm not sure if it was going to be the largest masjid in the United States, the mosque in the United States, but it was going to be a pretty big campus, and it used to be a Asian mall, and it got shut down. So he was
And
going to build there.
he wanted to.
And there was like really good plans for it and stuff, but it never materialized.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not sure why.
never went through.
Yeah.
Probably city problems, money problems, had to deal with, like the different type of
What were your
logistics.
memories being a Houston Rockets fan with Hakeem Olajuwon?
Like Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets were probably the biggest reason why I got into sports in general.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and really like football was secondary growing up, and I mean the Rockets, they, 2-time championship back to back, the Knicks, and then the Knicks, and then Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
So I just loved, it was just amazing. I remember the third year when they got swept by the Seattle Supersonics, Sean Kemp.
Yeah, Sean Kemp. Yeah, Gary Payton.
Trent, yeah.
Yeah,
those
I've
guys.
seen highlights.
Yeah, that team was gonna like. Honestly, I wish we were able to beat the Sonics so they could like play Michael Jordan in the championship one time.
Yeah.
But what you call it? Those are the chances. But anyways, it was just when we lost that third year, we were like in tears. We're like, how could we lose? Because I think it was probably 12 years old at the time. So about your age right now.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. It's a bad joke. No, so a couple years younger than me, just getting into sports, I just thought we would never lose ever.
Yeah.
And so, in the way we lost,
It was kind of like that for me for the Niners. Like my first year watching the Niners, they made a run to the Super Bowl, and then the next year they go 6-10. I'm like, what is this?
What is this? Like,
I didn't think this
how
was
it's supposed to be. My team's supposed to win.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, same. And so, we had a couple of years. We at least like the awesome thing about the Rockets after they lost that third year, they weren't winning championships anymore. They were always contending. A lot of teams wanted to come to the Rockets. Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen. Those years.
I feel like there was a real obviously speaking of those early years, but coming now to from 2015 to about now, there's been a real shift in the Rockets team. Obviously when they had Harden, they kept making a deep run in the playoffs, but they really weren't getting to where they wanted to be, to have that top-heavy star, but they didn't really have much around him. Yeah. And then now I really like the direction they're heading in with all these different guys.
Oh, yeah.
You have Fred VanVleet, really good point guard. He's on a big contract. Dylan Brooks, really defense. And then they just drafted Reed Shepard, 3rd overall, who I really like. He shot 50% from 3 in college for Kentucky.
Insane.
Yeah.
Really excited. Really excited. Just, I just hope they don't make some stupid move where they
It's so funny hearing you talk about the Rockets. This is how I feel sometimes about 49er seasons. But
yeah.
It's like, man, it looks good, man. I just don't want to get my hopes up, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think they doubled their win total in the year prior.
But
the thing about it is if
I feel
look at these other teams, I don't mean to cut you off.
No.
Like these other teams that have
top heavy stars,
like Brunson,
that
could will themselves, will the team.
You feel like that's someone the Rockets need?
Yeah, do you think Jalen Green can be?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's
when
what
is it gonna happen?
Yeah, that's what I felt about the Rockets team. They're very young, and I feel like that's why they were kind of mediocre. But I feel like as soon as they get that type of experience, and I feel like something really important for them is to bring in a veteran, a tested guy. But like I feel like that's what they did bringing in Fred VanVleet. So as soon as the guys around him start to become more acclimated with the league, I mean, all of them only in really their second, third, maybe fourth year.
Yeah.
So as soon as like they start getting that experience in the league, kind of understanding what the real, ideal goal is, I feel like they could be a really good team in the West.
Yeah, I do too. I just I just hope it materializes.
Yeah, you don't want to.
We got a good coach.
Ime Udoka, I really like
and I
him.
do think that we've got a lot of young talent.
For years to come, I feel like they could be
just
promising.
Gotta get lucky enough to where
Yeah.
one of them really makes like a huge impact. In the league.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think the future.
The future's bright.
Yeah, there's hope.
Yeah.
It's bright. Yeah, so we'll see.
Well, I mean, speaking of the guys who built that future, you like Houston College more or NBA?
I mean, the Houston Cougars, as far as like basketball is concerned, man, I mean, they're cream of the crop. I mean, they've been killing it.
I saw this year they made a deep run.
They made a deep run. They were basically like the heavy favorites.
Yeah, they were. I saw they were the 1 seed.
Yeah, they were
game or two
overall,
away.
I think they were the overall 1 seed, if I'm not mistaken.
It was them or UConn.
Oh, that's right, UConn.
UConn ended up winning, obviously.
Yeah, and UConn, yeah. And so, they've got a great program there. And I remember a few years ago, Houston Cougars football program was more on an upward trajectory, and like basketball. I mean, I used to go to every basketball game, every football game.
So, were there any like now that you have obviously gone past your college years, obviously, were there any players? Yeah, were there any players that you went to college with?
Oh yeah.
That are now today? Do you know any?
Do you guys know who Kevin Cobb is?
Yeah.
Kevin Cobb. He was he got drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. If you remember when Michael Vick returned from his suspension. Andy Reid drafted Kevin Cobb, and so he played. He was kind of like my first introduction to college football.
Yeah.
When I was in college, our chemistry teacher told us if you go to any sporting events,
we'll give
you extra credit. So he Simon Bob. He's like a chem teacher somewhere in England now, but he was a really good teacher, really good about the college experience and supporting your school. And so he'd always tell us to do those kind of things, whether it's football, baseball, basketball.
That's funny.
Yeah. And this was a science major chemistry class, so
for him to
do that was really cool.
I mean, the only guy that I know that's come out of Houston recently, Quentin Grimes. He came out of Houston. Got drafted by the Knicks. Tank Dell came out of Houston.
Yeah, Tank Dell.
Yeah.
Houston too, yeah.
Grimes just got.
Yeah, and the Grimes is on the Mavs. They actually gave him and Klay Thompson an introductory press conference.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see him there. I mean, that's really, I think it's a good move for them. They got two
I remember you telling me something about. I think it was your brother who saw him play or something like that.
Who, Grimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he goes to basketball games.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, Grimes and Snead and these guys. No, they're it's good. I mean, when I would go to the basketball games, no lie, there would probably only be hundreds of people.
No way.
Yeah, it was
a rough.
Yeah, it was
really.
Rough. Yeah, dude, it was. You would lose every game.
Rough period of time.
Good, but I mean, it would be kind of fun when we would do well. But you guys been to sporting events, there's nothing like live sports.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, hype, and that's what got me addicted to college football because
that gets so hyped, even more than the NFL.
Yeah.
You see more fans turn out for college football. I've seen over 100,000 fans.
Oh yeah, Michigan, Ohio,
Michigan,
also, Texas,
Alabama.
I think a lot has to do with the fact that there's as much as people might think, I might not think so, but I think there's more in it for college players than there is for NFL players.
Yeah, because
they're trying to get onto the.
Yeah, you're in the NFL, you know.
Yeah.
How many times do you?
A lot of guys are already proven.
Not only that, how many times have you seen these big time NFL players? They land these huge contracts, and then they have a mediocre year.
Yeah, exactly.
They're as if oh man, I gotta protect my.
Well, see now that's something important that you said. I feel like college football starting to take a turn for the worse with the NIL deals.
Oh yeah, they're about
Yeah.
to take like
Yeah, you saw
sponsorship.
Bronny James, who averaged 5 points a game. I don't even want to get into Bronny James, but Bronny James, who averaged 5 points a game in college, was making more than some NBA players.
Oh yeah.
That's just ridiculous in my
No,
opinion.
100%. I mean, who did the Bears draft? NFL wise.
Caleb Williams. He's
he
making
like $6 million a
Yeah.
year, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, he could have definitely said, "Hey, I don't want to play for Chicago. I'll just sit out
yeah, and they'll keep paying me.
I'll get $6 million either way,
Exactly.
and just keep going." But
No, I like that Chicago team though.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Chicago's gonna be exciting.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think so.
they got Oduzne too, the receiver from. I forgot what it was.
Oh, dude, you're right. I forgot who it was too. Yeah, but then he got a big name receiver.
Yeah. They traded for Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen.
And they already have DJ Moore.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, and they already have DJ Moore. So that
You know
receiver.
who's going to really struggle is Minnesota. They drafted that guy.
Jake
Can
McCarthy.
you believe the money? Can you
He's
believe?
going to struggle.
Can you believe the money Kirk Cousins made?
Well, I mean, in Atlanta.
Just to
No, that's a worse
Tennessee
situation.
quarterback. Dude.
But come on,
That's a worse situation.
Dude,
With,
if you want to know,
They
if
paid
you
him.
want to know how to ruin a quarterback, is follow the Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith blueprint. That's exactly what happened.
It's crazy.
I mean, why are you going to bring in? You're going to bring in Kirk Cousins, and then you're going to draft a quarterback. I mean, why create that tension? You know what I mean?
It's not even like you. It's not even like you brought him on as a Mariota. You know, like kind of like, oh yeah, we'll keep him as a backup. No, they paid him big money.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like you kind of put yourself in a weird position where you
And they drafted a quarterback high, and then to pay Kirk Cousins like $40 million a year. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, I know, 100%.
Yeah.
No, I feel like that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, even Kirk Cousins was like, I mean,
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
I
he
need
was.
an extension on my ranch.
No, I think he was upset about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more dad jokes you guys want to rip off before we go?
No.
The stage is yours.
No, I can't think of any right now, but I'll think of another one for our next one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate to have you.
A lot of fun. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Love to see you.
Yeah.
Gonna be coming out with more episodes soon, like I said. Just tune in. Be ready. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.